guys, it's Rachel. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to I just need to sit here and talk to you guys about how much 1989 means to me, honestly, before 1989 Taylor's version comes out. So with these re-records, I always get very nostalgic, and I always reflect on the memories that I've made. I've been a die-hard Taylor Swift fan, Swiftie, since the moment I heard Love Story in 2008. So it has been a lot of memories, a lot of eras, and so every single re-recording touches my heart because I get to relive those memories and think back and oh my gosh, I remember when 1989 was released and I got out of school early and went to Target, and it was just all those memories come flooding back to me. And 1989 in particular is one that pulls at my heart the very most, and that is because that is the album that made my dreams come true. So our story begins in a city called Nashville, Tennessee. So my dad and I had planned a trip to Nashville, Tennessee for the end of the summer because I was about to go back to school, and my dad and I like to take little trips together. So we had decided we were gonna go to Nashville, Tennessee because I had always wanted to go to Nashville. I did not shut up about wanting to go to Nashville and see like the Bluebird Cafe, Country Music Hall of Fame, all the places that Taylor had been raving about for years. I wanted to see for myself. So, and let me tell you, that drive was very calculated in the time we left and by the time we were going to get there, because Taylor was having a Yahoo live stream. Now, TS5 we knew was brewing. We knew that it was about to happen, and it was kind of just like we were just waiting for the announcement. So the Yahoo live stream was a very big indicator that 1989 or TS5 was about to get announced. So we drove 10 hours and we got in our hotel room. It was very important that I had Wi-Fi. Important. We sat down with my dad's laptop and we watched the Yahoo live stream. Taylor said she had many different surprises, in which she said that she was announcing an album called 1989. And she said that she had a music video. She showed us the Shake It Off music video, and I so vividly remember this in my head, and this is why this part of the story for 1989 is so important to me, is because I remember when Taylor said that she was going to make sure that she created new ways to meet as many people as possible during this era, and she had actually invited fans to be in the Shake It Off music video. I will never forget when I saw that. I said to myself, oh my God, I want this to be my era. I want this to be the era where I meet Taylor Swift. I am going to meet Taylor Swift this era. And in my head, of course, that was me manifesting. That was me putting it out into the universe, because I remember being devastated walking out of the Red Tour thinking that that was my time to meet Taylor. And it absolutely, looking back, obviously, it wasn't. But I remember the moment I heard Taylor say that, I was like, this is my era. So at the time you could buy Shake It Off, and I remember my dad brought a CD disc because we thought definitely that Taylor was going to announce a single and we would get the album stuff started. So my dad brought a CD so we could put the new single on it so we could listen to it as we drove around Nashville. We did just that. I remember we had a blast. We jammed. We listened to it over and over again, and we had a blast in Nashville. So about a month before that, Taylor had liked two of my posts on Instagram. She liked one of me and her meaning a cutout at Shoot a Carnival, and then my cat in my room. Then there was this thing called Taylorking. Now, this could bring me to tears. Like this, I could start crying in this video. Anyways, Taylor was very active on Tumblr, and Taylor was following fans on Tumblr. And of course, I was very active on Tumblr because Taylor Swift was on Tumblr interacting with fans. I will never forget this as long as I live. I don't know how this woman found my page. I don't. I have no idea to this day how she found me, but I'm so glad she did. I had, you know, was very active tagging her and stuff, but she didn't follow me, and she, you know, there's so many people trying to get her attention, so of course I didn't think anything of it. I put my phone next to me as I do every night. I woke up at 3 a.m. approximately one night, checked my phone to like see what time it was, and one of my notifications was, Taylor Swift is now following you. And when I tell you, I was like, I remember putting on my glasses and I was so shocked, and I thought I was dreaming. I screenshotted it and put it as my lock screen, so in the morning I didn't think that I was dreaming. I'm so serious on that. Like, I thought for sure I was just like dreaming this up. So I put it as my lock screen real quick, so in the morning I could confirm that I was not in fact dreaming that Taylor Swift actually followed me. And that's actually insane to say. So Taylor started liking a couple of my posts here and there, because now we were mutuals, we were buddies, we were best friends on Tumblr. And so then 1989 was released, and of course she was very active on Tumblr as well, looking for fan selfies and all that. And I remember I was so excited, like, oh my god, Out of the Woods tonight, or oh my god, you know, this is happening, this is happening. Everything Taylor Swift I was posting, she would like my posts. And okay, so the day of 1989 being released comes out, and I left school early because I was an emotional mess, because Alexis had just met Taylor and I was so excited. I was so anxious to get out of that school and go get the album that I somehow convinced my mom to let my grandma come pick me up. That is somehow still a miracle. I was always the kid who did my very best in school, and I was never late, always, you know, had, like, I was good at school. Like, I tried my very best, and my parents knew that. So for me to ask to leave was like definitely like, hey, you know, we could let it slide this once. Anyways, so I went to Target, got 1989, and then this thing called Taylorking started. With Taylorking, Taylor started posting lyrics on her Twitter with fan selfies that she found all over the internet, specifically Tumblr. Well, I was over at my other grandma's house the weekend after 1989 had come out, so like that little weekend, and I was of course reblogging myself, trying to get Taylor's attention with the album. I looked down at my phone and Taylor Swift liked my post. She hit the little like button, and I was like, oh my god, she liked my post. Oh my god. So I went running into the other room because my dad was watching football, and I was like, I'm not disturbing him. Like, I need a moment alone. So I went running into the back like computer room, and I kind of like shut the door, and I was like, oh my god. So then I was sitting in like this little area of my grandma's house, and I was like just looking at my phone. My phone was like blowing up, so I was trying to like charge it. So I was sitting in this little area, and all of a sudden I get, of course I had Taylor's notifications on Twitter, and I got a notification that said, and I know for you it's always me. I clicked on it and my face was there, and let me tell you, I thought I was going to just, that was it. I was like, oh my god. I was rocking back and forth in the floor, and I was trying to be respectful of the fact that, you know, other things were happening in the house. So I was trying to be quiet. I went and back into the computer room, shut the door, and I called my mom. I was like, mom, Taylor Swift just saved she liked my selfie, saved my selfie on her phone, put a filter on it, and posted it on Twitter with those lyrics. And my mom was like, oh my god, it's like she's actually talking to you. And I will never forget the feeling that rushed through my body when my mom said that. Like, it will forever be ingrained in my head. Like, that feeling of, oh my god, Taylor Swift just posted my face. Like, that was the most unreal thing. So our story continues. Taylor started absolutely spamming me. I'm not even kidding you. She would go on in like 15, 20 of my posts a day, which was, it was like bam, 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 bam. It's like she typed in my URL and just went bam, 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 bam. Like, it was insane, okay? I could not, and people ask me like, oh, you know, she would do that. Like, did it ever feel normal? No, I was dry heaving every single time this happened. Like, this was not like, oh, Taylor damn, hi Taylor, there you are again. No, I was like, oh my God, like what? Cause like this was like my biggest dream. Like I was finally connecting with Taylor Swift, like after seeing years and years and years of her meeting fans, like she was interacting with me. Like all the years that we stood there on the sidelines wishing for right now, it was right now. So Taylor was liking my stuff, she was doing promo, all this stuff, and our story really begins again at around the time of the AMAs, of the American Music Awards. It was the Friday before the American Music Awards in 2014, and Taylor, my mom and I were downstairs. We were just flipping through a Taylor magazine. We were sitting by the fireplace, just chilling out, and I took a selfie, and I was like, you know, listen, you know, whatever, just like reading a Taylor magazine. I posted on my Instagram. Taylor did not follow me on Instagram. She liked it. And I was freaking out. It was about a good 15 minutes later, and, you know, my mom and I decided that, okay, we're gonna go to bed. Good night. I went in my room. My mom went in her room, and I put my phone down on the bed. I looked down, and I had a DM from Taylor's team. Hi, this is a direct message from Taylor Nation. We see that you're a great fan. Can we have your name, address, email, you know, anything you would anything you would ask for, I would have given you, but we see you're a great fan. And I about shat. I took off running into my mom's room like, oh my God, Mom, look, Taylor's team is trying to contact me. Like I was freaking out. So of course I gave them the information. I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea, but I knew something was happening because what the hell, right? Like, oh my God. It was the next day, my mom and I went to this area that we always went to kind of like just browse around and shop. Like we just love to do that, window shop. And an ad came on the radio that said, you know, Taylor's performing at the AMAs. And I'm mentioning this because it was so substantial to me. And it was just an advertisement. It was Taylor's gonna be on the AMAs, you know how they run. And special guest, Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, Harry Styles. It was just one of those. And they were really hyping Taylor up on this commercial. I leaned over in the passenger seat of my mom's car and just wailed. I started crying, and I said, Mom, like, I don't know what's happening, but like, I have this feeling like I don't know what's going on. Like her team, like, of course she knew what was going on. And I was like, her team, like, I just don't know what's going on, but like, I'm so happy. Like, it, like, and of course, like, my mom was like, oh, like, you know, I've always been close with my parents, so this was truly something so special. Like, I didn't know what was happening, but looking back on it, Taylor Swift was shopping for Christmas presents for me, and they waited. I guess she started shopping for Christmas presents for me when she knew, like, my information was, you know, good, and that I had sent in my information and that I would, you know, hand it over. So I say that because this connects. Like, the AMAs has a big connection to what I'm about to say. So Taylor continues to like all my stuff. She goes over to London. She does a Victoria's Secret fashion show, and she's liking posts she's spotted coming out of like Kath Kidston. She's, you know, shopping and getting, you know, Taylor things, right? Right. So I had no idea for about 1.5, 2 weeks what was going on. And, you know, Taylor was still liking my stuff, but I didn't hear anything back from her team. I was in chorus, and all of a sudden I was getting ready for my chorus concert, and oh my God, saying this sounds so fake. Like, it sounds like I'm making this up, but I swear I'm absolutely not, because damn, I'd be a good storyteller. So I was getting ready for my chorus concert in my room, and I looked down at my phone, and I got another message from Taylor's team. Hi Rachel, will you be home at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning to have a package signed for, and at the time I was a minor, and you need somebody over the age of 18 to sign. What? Please don't post about this until you have this something in your hands. Like they were saying a something. Let me tell you, that was the moment I lost it, because Taylor was openly sending people Christmas presents at this point, and she had started this in like November, and I got the DM saying, hey, you're expecting something on December 4th, and oh my god, I went running up the stairs to my dad. I'm like, oh my god, Dad, like, listen, like, and then I was trying to plead my case, like, I can't go to school in the morning. Like, so we went to the chorus. Like I said, yes, of course, like I knew I'd figure it out. I went to the chorus concert. I was posting pictures. Guess who was liking? Taylor Swift. And I was, of course, I was not saying anything about like the, you know, the something coming, but I was saying like, oh my god, Taylor liked my post, and you know, everybody was hyping me up. Yeah. Then my mom, dad, and I went to a Mexican restaurant after my chorus concert, and we sat down and we all three knew what was going on, and I said, can I please skip first and second period? My first block was English. I had an A. My second block was a study block, and my parents were like, you know what, you have good grades, yes, you can skip it, you're gonna go after that. And I was like, okay, bet. Like, I don't care. So that was solidified. That night I went to bed. I was like, my life is about to change. My life, when I wake up tomorrow morning, is about to change. So the next morning I put on a Taylor shirt, and I had given them my mom's address. So my dad drove me over to my mom's. My mom had to go to work, so my grandma was over at my mom's waiting for the package to sign for it. Well, my dad and I drove over, and he was like, let me know when you get the something. So we were walking up to the porch. My grandma opened the front door, and I saw this huge FedEx box sitting in the floor, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. So I took off running into the floor, and of course my dad came in, and I was looking at the address, and I opened it, and I knew what Taylor's handwriting looked like at that point, and all the packages were well written, everything I'd seen online, and I went, oh my god. And okay, I will never forget this feeling. Like, Taylor Swift sent me Christmas presents. And my dad, I'm like ripping the box open, like I'm like frantic. I'm like, I hadn't started opening anything yet, but I'm like shuffling through this like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And I knew at this point. And so my dad was like, hold on, let me go run out and get my camera. So he ran out to his car, got the camera, and I'm just shuffling like, oh my god, oh my god. So I'm shuffling through all this stuff. He's behind me on the phone. He's like, I can't come into work right now. And they're like, you know, what's wrong? He's like, man, I'm not even kidding you. My daughter just got Christmas presents from Taylor Swift. They're like, you're lying. And he's like, no, like, I'm so serious. Like, my daughter just got presents from Taylor Swift. Like, I have to be here for this moment. So he stayed. And I was going through all the presents. Taylor wrapped everything so nicely. I've gone in depth about like everything like she gave me and stuff like that in different videos. I'll link them down below. But I will never forget, my head was buzzing. Like, I could not focus. I was just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Taylor Swift wrote me like a letter, and so I was just staring at it. The Polaroid from Taylor Swift fell into the floor, so sorry, because she had put it in the card, and I wasn't expecting that to be in the card. So it fell on the floor, and so I picked it up, and I'm staring at it like, oh my god, this is Taylor Swift holding said FedEx box that is in my floor right now. That is in my floor. Hi, Rach, me with your gifts. Like, what the, excuse me? Yeah. Anyways, so my dad was like, Rachel, read it. Like, he was like, because he could tell it was kind of like, so I read it out loud, and I read I read, "What a beautiful young lady you've become, and I can't wait to meet you soon. Love you, Taylor." I started weeping when I read, "And I can't wait to meet you soon," because the person that I had looked up to for so many years, and still do, wanted to meet me, a fan that she found online, that she thought was cool enough and deserving enough, I guess, to send Christmas presents to. And I to this day get so emotional thinking about it, because how out of millions and millions of fans did I get so lucky? Anyways, so Taylor got me beautiful gifts from her trip to London when she was over there for the Victoria's Secret fashion show. She got me sweaters from Cath Kidston that she thought would look cute on me, that she was literally paparazzi'd walking out of Cath Kidston. That's why I brought that up. And the AMAs. She got me a beanie that said, I got this in LA when I was in LA for the AMAs. And I was weeping over her being at the AMAs, just simply over that commercial. But little did I know Taylor Swift was shopping for me. Whew. Okay. So, of course, I was ecstatic. I went to school. I was like, Taylor, I was late. Do you know why? Taylor Swift sent me Christmas presents. Like, that was my whole personality. Still is. I will be telling the story in my nursing home bed to all the nurses. Trust that. She got me a beautiful bracelet that is actually a friendship bracelet, and it says, she wrote on the tag, "Rachel, so you never forget, Taylor loves Rachel," because I had posted something once about how, you know, there were so many fans, but I always wanted Taylor to remember me, and so she got it specially made for me. She got me a custom journal. She got me beautiful ornaments from Harrods and a purse from Harrods, and so many beautiful things that I will never be able to wrap my little noggin around. So of course I was ecstatic, like I couldn't believe it. Like I said, all that happened, and so then it came around tour time for the 1989 World Tour to begin, and when that happened, they wanted to use the Swiftmas video that is on her YouTube channel. They wanted to use it in the pre-show entertainment. And so I had to sign like a form, my parents had to sign because I was a minor, to release it and let them play that video for pre-show entertainment at the 1989 World Tour. What the hell? Anyways, so I'm gonna start crying. I really am. So my dad and I were sitting in a burger shop, and at this point we had tickets. Like, we had tickets. The tickets went on sale for tour. I decided that I wanted to go to Arizona because Alexis lived in Arizona, and I knew that's where she would go for tour, and we had been so close, and I wanted to meet her in person, and my dad knew that, so that was gonna be our trip for that year. And my mom and I got tickets to DC to see Taylor. Anyways, so of course, that was like, you know, when tickets went on sale. But I mentioned that because my dad and I were sitting in a burger shop and just having a little, I think it was dinner, and I looked down on my phone. Here we go again. I had a message from, yes, Taylor Nation. So Taylor Nation said, "Hey, Rachel, we're just touching base with the upcoming tour. Thank you for sending in, you know, your information. What shows are you attending for the 1989 World Tour?" So I told them, and Taylor knew I was going to Glendale. Taylor had openly liked posts about me and my dad like going to Glendale and stuff like that, and she knew like that was like a ways for us, and so she had been liking posts that I had posted about me going to Glendale, Arizona. So I told them what shows, and I remember I ran to the bathroom. Like, I couldn't wrap my head around it, and you know, I was like, let me just go to the bathroom real quick. I responded to them. I came back to the table. I said, Taylor's team now knows that we're going to Arizona. I don't know what's happening. So the tour started. I remember watching the live stream the opening night of it and just being so excited and planning my outfits and, you know, just Swiftie things. And Taylor was still liking my posts. So the tour starts. And other Swiftmas people who were going to shows before me started to meet Taylor. That's when it hit me, oh snap, oh shit, oh F word, this is why they asked for my show. And Taylor knows I'm going to Glendale. Oh, good God. Okay, this is my moment. So I go to the 1989 World Tour with my mom in DC, and that was in July, and I didn't meet Taylor then. And then it was August, and it was time for my dad and I to fly out to Glendale. I remember I went shopping for a dress just in case I got a call to meet Taylor, because I had a sneaky feeling. And so I had my outfit ready. I had a backup outfit ready for the concert in case it didn't end up happening. And I felt like that was my chance. We fly out to Glendale, Arizona. We get there the day before. So it was August 16th. And let me mention to you something. The Yahoo live stream, when she announced 1989, was August 18th, 2014. So I say that because we fly out to Arizona on August 16th, 2015, and it was the night before, and all the other Christmas girls I was in a group chat with, and we were talking about, like, oh, when they got messaged, when they got the call that they were meeting Taylor, like the day before. Most of the time it was the day before. Well, it was a Sunday, and so my head didn't put that into consideration because everybody was telling me that it was gonna be the day before if I got a call, because, you know, and of course they're always like confidential, so I was like, no, I haven't been contacted. So I wasn't, you know, I was doing everything not to ruin any chance I had, so I was telling like no one that I had even been contacted. But anyways, we still had our group chat, and they were like, yeah, this is when I got contacted, this is, and I was reading all that, and I'm like, oh my God, they forgot about me, or Taylor forgot. What did I do wrong? Did Taylor see something she didn't like? So my dad and I had a great time. We went out to, oh my God, let me mention this to you. We went to this little like barbecue place close to our hotel and close to the arena. And this was still the day before Paul Sidoti walked in, and that was unreal. Anyways, so every call that I was getting was the call that I was not waiting for. Everybody was calling me, I hope you have a great time. Tell Taylor hi for me, you know, because I was getting hyped up. It was not the call that I was anticipating. So my dad and I, he loves to photograph, so we had rented a car, we went driving into the desert area, and we took some pictures of cactuses, and this is when we go crashing down, yeah, that was correct. It hit me, it was getting late at night, and it hit me, oh my God, I don't think that you're gonna meet Taylor. Like, mind you, the moment we landed, my phone was on full volume. I took a nap with my phone like this right next to me so I wouldn't miss a call. Like, yeah, I was anticipating it. So I fully just broke down crying. I wept on my dad's shoulder. He pulled over, he hugged me. I was like, I just don't know if I did something wrong. And like, I was very, very upset, thinking that I wasn't gonna meet Taylor. So we went back to the hotel, relaxed for the evening, and we got up the next morning and went to Cracker Barrel, and still nothing. Of course, I was texting, like, oh my God, like, Alexis, like, I'm so excited to meet you. And of course I was, like, it was concert day regardless. So we were like, okay. And I could tell my dad was starting to get nervous too, because, you know, it was getting time to like start getting ready and like get the show on the road. So I decided, okay, let's go back and let's take a picture, and I'll post it on Tumblr of here's me outside the arena, so excited for tonight. So my dad and I walked over to the arena once we got back from breakfast, and I took that picture. My heart was breaking inside. I cannot be so dishonest when I say, like, I was like, I really just had gotten my hopes up, and I, of course, like, thought it was gonna happen in Glendale. So so that picture, I remember I was like, okay, this is it. And I took the picture and we walked back to the hotel. I had not posted it yet, I don't think. Maybe I had. Anyways, so we went back to the hotel and my dad was like, look, I will dress up with you. We can go to Walgreens and we can make a poster, like get a custom poster made. Like, I will dress up in a tutu. I don't care. Like, I want this to happen for us. So we had started planning, and I was on my phone designing a poster on Walgreens website. I walked over to my dad's bed, and he was sitting on the edge of the bed. He was like, oh, let me see what you made. So like I showed him, and so I was sitting next to him on the edge of the bed, and all of a sudden a number from Nashville popped up. Oh, like at the top of my phone. And I looked at my dad and went, oh my God. And my heart dropped to my feet. Like, I was like, oh my God. Because that was the call. I stood up, I said, hello. They said, hi, is this Rachel? I said, yes, hi, this is Sierra from Taylor Nation. How are you doing? I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited, how are you? And at this point, I'm pacing the room. I'm looking outside the window as if I am in some dramatic film, like I am looking out the window. I don't know what to do with myself. And Sierra was like, oh, so like, are you so excited for the show tonight? I'm like, yeah, I'm so excited. Like, we're here, we're so excited. She's like, oh, okay, so are you ready to meet Taylor? I doubled over. I started wailing. I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't mean to like cry. Like, she's like, no, like, oh, I'm so happy for you. Like, her team is so sweet. And she was like, you know, I'm so excited for you. Taylor is so excited to meet you. So I'm wailing. That happened, and I will never forget as long as I live. Like, of course, like, we gave her my information, my dad's information, because I was a minor at the time. My dad was going to be my +1. And so she told us will call information, and I thanked her, and I hung up, and I looked at my dad, and I'm bawling. I said, oh my God. And like, I had never seen my dad cry, but I hugged him and we were both wailing, sobbing our eyes out, like sobbing that this had just happened. So he was like, I guess I'm not dressing up in a tutu tonight. So I got ready and I met Alexis, and we went and got our meet and greet So we went and got our meet and greet wristbands, and they told us like what section to meet, and I will just never forget that feeling. So we got in the meet and greet line, and Taylor also had us pulled to the front of the line as her guests. She wanted us to be in the front, so I had extra time with her, and so everybody was looking at us like, why are you getting escorted to the front of the line? I didn't know, but Kevin from Taylor Nation was like, oh, Taylor wants you up here. I'm like, oh Lord. And I've also done a video on like very in-depth like my meeting Taylor story, so if you want to see that too, it's down below. But I will never forget that, and I'll never forget walking into Loft 89, and there was like a little booth, and Sierra, no, it was Erica. Erica asked, "Are you Rachel? You're Rachel, right?" And she, you know, had me sign, I think, a paper. And I will never forget, as long as I live, the sound of Taylor. The curtain got pulled back. They went in to make sure Taylor was ready. They pulled the curtain back and said, "You can go in." And Taylor and I running to each other, and her going, "Rachel, my buddy, I'm so happy you're here tonight. I'm so happy we're finally meeting." And we're hugging. And she walks over to my dad and says, "You have a great daughter." And we just got to talk. I got to thank her for the presents in person. I didn't even say anything. And she went, "Oh, you're wearing it." I was wearing the bracelet that she had gotten me. And she did not take her eyes off me once. She held my hand the entire time I was talking to her. She asked for 2 pictures. She said, "Let's get one of just us, and then let's get like one of all 3 of us." And I remember her just pulling me in, and I didn't know that she was resting her head on top of mine until I saw the picture. And then I remember when we were taking the group one, she kept blinking, and she was like, "Oh my God, did I blink again? Did I blink?" And so they kept like checking the camera. And I was laughing, Taylor was laughing. We looked at each other and we were laughing. And it was just like pure. We were looking at each other and laughing. She said, "Let's go ahead and look there." Like she was like, because we like were so like just laughing together. Anyways, my dad and I mentioned to her that we had brought her a couple gifts, because my dad had taken a beautiful picture of New York City that is actually above my couch right now. And I had written like a personalized note on the back of the acrylic print. And so I had gotten her a couple things, like a cat shirt. I said, "Yeah, like I brought you a couple things, like I got you a cat shirt." She's like, "Oh," she said, "Come here, give me a hug." And so like I hugged her and I said bye, and I met Taylor Swift. But the fact that she went out of her way to find me online, she took the time to memorize me, my interests. I posted once about, "Oh, like I would love to have a Polaroid camera." Now I own a Polaroid camera from Taylor Swift herself. Like, she went out of her way to get me presents. Like, she could have sent me a letter or just interacted with me and like met me, but the fact that she went shopping for me with me in mind is crazy things. So I will never be able to wrap my head around what happened to me during the 1989 era. Like, I'm so genuinely serious. Like, I got to meet my online friends for the first time. Like, that was like the first time like I got to meet people in person that I loved. Like, I met Natalie for the first time, and I finally had friends. I grew up not having many friends, and the friends I did have, I didn't feel like they were like very genuine, or I didn't feel like, you know, they liked me as much as I liked them. But Taylor gave me that sense of community, and still to this day, she's given me my best friends in the entire world. And so 1989 has a lot of meaning to me, and it has a lot of memories attached, and I will never forget those memories or the way that Taylor went out of her way for me as a fan, as long as I live. I will never be able to stop saying thank you to her for absolutely everything. And I'm so happy that I got to hug her and thank her for everything that she's done. And who knows, maybe one day I'll get to reunite with her and catch her up on my life. But for now, I am so incredibly grateful for absolutely everything that she has done for me. And 1989 was just the one that made my dreams come true. 1989 was the one that turned the page for me, and I will never forget that era as long as I live, and I'm so excited to relive it. And it's just so crazy too to think, like, after all these years, the moment I turned 18, for years of longing and waiting for my moment, I got a tattoo of the heart that Taylor Swift drew for me personally on my letter, on my card for Swiftmas. And the moment I turned 18, I had that tattooed on me because I wanted it forever. Like, if Taylor Swift chose me out of so many fans, it will forever make me feel special. And my love for Taylor is never ever gonna fade. So I wanted this love truly left a permanent mark. And it's my favorite accessory that I have. So it's fun that Taylor's version's actually coming out. And so yeah, I'm extra, and it's the most important Taylor era for me because of it. So yeah, that's why 1989 means so much to me. And you'll probably hear me say this 10,000 more times as we get closer to 1989 Taylor's version. But wow, what a storyline. And so yeah, that's why 1989 means the world to me. And so there you have it, folks. I love you guys so much. I hope this video entertains you in some way. And thank you for listening to me ramble about why 1989 means the world to me and this whole storyline that will forever sound fake, but I promise it's not. It's so surreal to even tell this story. So thank you for hearing me out, and I love you guys so much. I hope this video entertains you in some way, and I sincerely hope I see you, yes, you, in the next one. Bye, guys.